Joseph Murphy, 23rd Psalm. This is not a reading. It's a map of your subconscious mind. Joseph Murphy, 23rd Psalm, shows how the Lord is my shepherd becomes a living image. Green pastures for your thoughts, still waters for your heart. Joseph Murphy, 23rd Psalm, offers a simple daily practice to dissolve fear and awaken divine direction. Stay until the end. I'll give you one image, the hand on your back, that unites the entire psalm into a single living act. Joseph Murphy, 23rd Psalm. These words are a doorway. Joseph Murphy, 23rd Psalm is not merely scripture. It is a map for the subconscious mind. Joseph Murphy, 23rd Psalm is a pattern of inner images that shepherds your thought toward peace, provision, and power. Listen closely. When you change the image in your mind, you change the weather of your life. The Lord is my shepherd is not a line to recite. It is an instruction to see. The infinite guiding your steps, tending your moods, removing the thorns of fear and the briars of doubt until your inner pasture turns green. Murphy teaches that meditation is not mysticism afar. It is as practical as bread and water. To meditate is to mentally eat, to chew an idea until it becomes you. Imagine your mind like a quiet field at dawn, mist rising, dew on the grass. In this field stands a shepherd, your higher awareness, the life principle, the timeless intelligence breathing you now. He sees what you cannot see. He knows the ravine hidden by the hill. He knows the safe path to the still water. When you accept this image, not as poetry, but as fact, you place your destiny under wise care. I shall not want does not mean the world rearranges first. It means your state of consciousness does. Want ends when you embody the feeling of already having. Murphy calls this the mental equivalent. Before the cup runs over, the heart must overflow. Before the door opens, the key turns within. Think of a singer who rehearses backstage, hearing the applause before the curtain lifts. The subconscious learns by repetition and feeling. It obeys the movie you play with conviction. So we begin where Murphy begins, with attention. Attention is consecration. Wherever you place it, you pour the oil of your life. Some place it on the shadows and call it realism. Others place it on the rod and staff, on principle, on divine order, and call it faith. The result is not superstition, it is law. You cannot plant nettles and harvest roses. You cannot sow panic and reap poise. The psalm is not pleading, it is positioning. It positions the mind to accept supply, guidance, health, and victory as the only acceptable outcomes. There's a story, Murphy tells one like it, of a mother who lost her voice in shock. No disease, only terror freezing the music in her throat. He guided her to real meditation. See the sun returning. Feel the embrace. Speak the welcome. 10 minutes, twice a day. Not a mantra of worry, a scene of fulfillment. 2 weeks later, the door knock arrived. Her voice did too. Notice what happened. She did not beg for sound, she rehearsed sound, in love, with gratitude. She praised the shepherd within, and her vocal cords followed. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. A line like that is permission. Rest in the feeling of safety first. Many chase money to feel safe. Murphy inverts the circuit. Feel the safety of divine order and watch money behave like a trained sheep. No longer wild, no longer straying. The shepherd image is exact. He removes the thistle from the nostril. He checks the hoof. He leads single file along the ridge. Translate this mystic care. Prune your thought of irritants. Soothe your feeling with truth. Guide your actions step by step. Not frenzy, order. Not rush, rhythm. Beside the still waters. Stillness is not the absence of movement. It is the presence of certainty. Picture a mountain lake at night, glass smooth, reflecting constellations without a ripple. That is your mind when you turn from news-made panic and personality storm to the silent one within. In that stillness, answers move like fish beneath the surface. You don't splash to catch them. You drop a line of expectancy and feel the tug. The infinite responds to the calm, not the clamor. He restoreth my soul. Restoration begins when we stop outsourcing power. The psalm says nothing of enemies outside stronger than the shepherd inside. Even the valley of death is only a shadow. A shadow has no claws. It looks like a wall until you bring a lamp. The rod and staff, Murphy would say the understanding and authority of truth, comfort because they work. Hold the rod of principle. It is done unto me as I believe. Hold the staff of authority. I choose this day to believe good. With those, the wolf of fear becomes a dog you can lead home. Consider the most radical claim in the psalm. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. The feast, health, wisdom, supply, is not postponed until fear vanishes. It is served in front of it. You are not asked to fight shadows with fists. You are asked to eat, feed on ideas of wholeness until fear starves. Murphy insists, what you magnify with attention multiplies. So we feed on love, and love multiplies. We feed on law, and order multiplies. We feed on gratitude, and suddenly everything is pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Oil upon the head. What is it but the warm glow of praise? Gratitude is not a courtesy in Murphy's system. It is ignition. Say thank you to the infinite, not to persuade it, but to persuade yourself that the gift is already given. Fall asleep with thanks, and you will wake inside answers that feel like clear steps. And that cup, it runs over because the heart cannot contain the pressure of recognized good. You drink until you become a fountain. You bless until your name becomes a benediction in rooms you haven't entered yet. This is not fantasy. This is spiritual physics. So hear the promise I am making to you at the threshold of this journey. If you stay with me to the end, you will receive a single living image, simple as breath, that will unite every line of the psalm into one usable practice. Keep listening. The table is being set. When the night is darkest, the shepherd does his finest work. Wait until you see how to call him by name. Murphy says, be before you have. The ancients too, to be is to have. The psalm is a sequence of being states. Try it. Say inwardly, I am shepherded. Let your shoulders understand before your mind debates. There, notice the micro-surrender in your breath? That is the rod tapping the earth. Here is ground you can trust. Say, I dwell in the house of the Lord. Do not picture a distant palace. Picture awareness itself, this spacious presence, aware of these words as the house. You are not visiting God, you are living in God right now. Floors of peace, walls of strength, windows of insight. The roof is praise. Murphy warns against mechanical affirmations. I am healed, repeated with a clenched jaw, is only noise. But I am healed, spoken after you picture the cut knitting, the burn cooling, the organ remembering its blueprint in the infinite. This is living speech. The subconscious mind receives pictures dipped in feeling. Don't merely chant green pastures, smell them. Sun-warmed clover, the weight of noon, heavy-lidded and kind. Hear the far bell of a flock. Your nervous system doesn't argue with that. It relaxes into it. And healing follows the relaxation, the way tide follows moon. We think we must fix everything outside to feel safe inside. The psalm teaches the reverse. Enter the still water of poise, and circumstances like dust devils twirl themselves out. He leadeth me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Name here is nature. The nature of the infinite is order, so order is the path. You ask, how? Murphy would say, turn within, ask for right action, and trust the first clean, peaceful lead. Clean, no hidden spite. Peaceful, no inner sting. Follow that thread. It will seem small, but it pulls a tapestry. Let us address fear directly. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Many of us camp in the valley. We pitch a tent of catastrophic what-ifs. We memorize the rocks. We decorate the cave. The psalm says, through. Movement dissolves dread. How do we move? With sentences of law, with pictures of fulfillment, with gratitude that predates evidence, with the rod of principle and the staff of authority. Hold them. Touch them to every thought that trembles. Watch what happens. Shadows thin under examination. Murphy insists we must stop stealing from ourselves. Who is the thief and robber he speaks of, echoing Scripture? The mind that tries to get by external scramble what it refuses to become internally. We have all done it, begging life for what we have not yet embodied. The psalm forbids the beggar stance. It crowns you instead. Thou anointest my head with oil. Oil is light made touchable. It says, you are authorized to think from truth, not toward it. Wear your crown privately. Walk humbly, but crowned. There's a practical drill here, and if you do it, something will change before this day ends. Choose one line of the psalm, only one. Perhaps, he leadeth me beside the still waters. For 7 days, 3 times a day, sit 10 minutes and inhabit the image. See the waters. Hear them. Breathe as if breathing is a way to drink. In those 10 minutes, refuse every other thought like a bouncer at the door of a sacred club. If a worry knocks, say, you are not on the list. Return to the water. Do not try to fix your life in those minutes. Abide. After the 7th day, notice what decisions feel easy. Notice what phone call arrives. Notice what pain you forgot to remember. You didn't force, you fed. And life, ever honest, mirrored your menu. Now a word about enemies, because Murphy is surgical here. Your enemies are thoughts borrowed from ignorance. Jealousy, self-condemnation, anxious envy. These are not you. These are travelers that overstayed. Do not wrestle them at the table. Eat your feast of truth in their presence. Every bite of gratitude makes one of them vanish like mist. Every sip of praise dissolves another. Soon you realize no one was attacking you, you were neglecting your cup. Oil, cup, house. Notice how each metaphor is domestic, close, intimate, home-sized. The infinite does not ask you to climb a mountain of penance. It asks you to come home to your own mind and refurnish it with truths that fit the shape of your soul. Murphy's genius is the wedding of grandeur and practicality. He speaks of the stars and hands you a spoon. Here, he says, eat this idea. Chew it until it becomes blood. Picture for a moment your day as a flock. Thoughts are sheep, some noble, some skittish, some wounded, some lost. The psalm gives you a shepherd's stance. You start your morning checking the gate. What enters your field? You walk the fence line. What beliefs are broken? You remove the goat head thistles of old resentments. You lead toward water, 10 minutes of silence before screens. You examine hooves. Are your actions aligned with the path you claim you're on? By nightfall, the flock is inside, counted. Then the cup comes out. You pour gratitude until the pen glows. This is a life. This is dominion. This is not escape. This is mastery. And about death, Murphy demystifies it with tender authority. Life is life. It does not end. It transitions, like music moving from violin to flute. Fear of death, he says, is ignorance of continuity. The psalm calls it a shadow, flat, insubstantial. When you carry the rod and staff, understanding and authority, you walk through that shadow in peace. Meanwhile, every small death in you, the death of a grudge, the death of a limiting story, becomes a resurrection into larger living. Every true prayer is a funeral for a falsehood. Before we close this blot, take a breath and repeat softly inside. The shepherd within me tends my thought. The still waters mirror my peace. My cup remembers how to run over. Feel that? That's not performance, that's placement. You are placing your awareness in a house that was always yours. What if goodness and mercy aren't chasing you from behind, but rising to meet the footsteps you finally decided to take? Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. In Murphy's frame, follow is not passive fortune. It is the harvest of a cultivated inner field. Goodness is the byproduct of thinking in line with the nature of God: order, love, abundance. Mercy is the gentleness you extend to yourself when you forget and remember again. Together, they are the echo of your chosen stance. Let's decode 3 emblems Murphy loved to clarify. 1. The rod. Think of the rod as the law you stand on. 2 core laws. It is done unto you as you believe, and as within, so without. When panic rises, touch the rod. Law, not luck, governs my life. You feel the spine of your soul straighten. The rod is the sentence you will not betray. 1 is enough. Choose it now. Divine order is working through me in perfect ways. Use it when the email shocks, when the bill arrives, when the diagnosis attempts to rename you. Tap the rod on the ground of your moment. Watch the dust settle. 2. The staff. The staff is authority, your right to direct attention. It is the crook that hooks straying thoughts and brings them home without violence. Authority doesn't mean force, it means steadiness. When gossip tries to rent space in your head, lift the staff. Not in my pasture. When self-condemnation bleats in the corner, walk over, gather it, and whisper, "We're going back to truth." The staff is the library card to your inner house. Use it daily. 3. The table. The table is doctrine made edible. It is the spread of ideas that nourish your system. On your table today, praise, gratitude, right action, forgiveness, vision. Eat what strengthens you. If resentment is a dish, send it back. If envy is offered, decline. If worry keeps refilling your cup, put a coaster of law over it. Only what blesses shall enter me. The body becomes what it eats, so does the soul. Now, hear a gentle correction. Many treat spiritual practice as emergency equipment. Break glass when in crisis. The psalm is daily bread. Make of it a rhythm, not a rescue. Morning. Shepherd your thought before the herd of demands wakes. Noon. Still water. 2 minutes of silence, eyes open, breath kind. Evening. The table. List 3 ways mercy found you today. Night. Oil. Fall asleep with thank you, not as a transaction, but as a temperature. Murphy often returned to the idea that desire itself is holy. If a longing in you is for more life, more expression, more blessing, it is not teasing you, it is authorizing you. Thou preparest a table before me. What if the table is your desire? What if the feast is the new book you ache to write, the business that serves, the song that heals, the home that hosts laughter? Stop waiting for fear to leave the room. Sit down and eat. Chew 1 bite, 20 minutes at the piano, 1 phone call, 1 page, 1 act of generosity. The presence of enemies is irrelevant to a well-fed soul. And the house? The psalm ends where it always was, dwelling. To dwell is to live, not visit. Make your mind God's address by furnishing it with what resembles its nature. Hang on the walls pictures of order. Put forgiveness on the table. Keep humor in the drawer. Put a lamp of wisdom by your bed. Sweep the floor daily with the broom of quiet. And yes, invite guests. Your atmosphere will bless them. People will walk in and feel their shoulders drop 2 inches. Your house will become a house for others. If your heart is heavy, if the valley feels long, try this field prayer tonight. The shepherd's circuit, a single loop to walk in your mind just before sleep. Gate, I am safe in the one. Picture a sturdy gate closing softly. Pasture, I relax into green provision. Feel your body unclench. Water, my mind is still. Answers are easy. See moonlight on a calm lake. Rod, law, not luck, keeps me. Touch a staff to the ground. Table, I feast on gratitude now. Name 3 specifics. Oil, thank you, thank you, thank you. A warm brightness crowns you. House, I dwell in God. God dwells in me. Feel home. Walk that circuit without strain. If you fall asleep midway, perfect. The shepherd finishes the route. There is one more insight, perhaps Murphy's quiet masterstroke. You do not bring God to a problem. You bring your problem to God. The presence is not a guest. It is the ground. When anxiety pounds, do not try to lasso the infinite down. Place the anxiety in the house and let the climate work on it. The house has its own weather. Peace as atmosphere, love as temperature, wisdom as light. In that climate, tight knots loosen, brittle edges soften, and the hard thing shows you its door. You have listened faithfully. Here is the promised unifying image, simple enough to carry everywhere. The hand on the back. When you say, "The Lord is my shepherd," feel, right now, a warm, steady hand between your shoulder blades. It is not pushing, it is guiding. In a grocery line, in a boardroom, in a hospital corridor, there it is. The hand means you are never walking alone. The hand means you can pause and breathe. The hand means if you take one honest step, another stone will appear under your foot. This is the whole psalm in a gesture. Guidance, comfort, authority, supply, translated into touch. Use it when you forget. Use it when you fear. Use it when you rejoice. The hand on your back, the house around your thought, the table in your heart, the still water in your breath. You are shepherded. Before we end, let joy speak a word to courage. You are allowed to be blessed. You are allowed to be guided. You are allowed to walk out of the valley with a smile that confuses your old enemies into friendship. And if you want to go deeper with us, become a channel member, our inner circle, where new films arrive early, where we practice together, where your voice helps shape these journeys. But whether you join or not, your life is already turned. You felt it. The hand is there. Now rise, beloved. Step to your door. Open it. The morning is waiting, and goodness and mercy are not far behind. There is a music to obedience, soft, not stern. When you heed the shepherd's nudge, you begin to move with the rhythm of the universe. Murphy points to this rhythm as divine right action. It isn't moralizing, it's alignment. Birds do not agonize over thermals. They feel them and rise. Fish do not strategize current. They sense and swim. You too have a guidance system more precise than any algorithm. Peace. Not the sleepy kind, the luminous kind. The kind that hums at the exact frequency of your next right step. Test it. Put two options before your inner ear. Option A, feel the hand on your back. Breathe. Picture taking that step. Option B, do the same. Which image brightens you? Which one turns your stomach to stone? The shepherd speaks in brightness and ease. He never shouts. He will let you wrestle the goat if you insist. But if you want the goat to grow into a lamb, bring it into the house of peace and watch what patience does. Sometimes people ask, but what about evil? Murphy would not shrink from the question. He would say, we do not deny facts. We deny finality to any fact that contradicts the nature of God. Evil is a misuse of mind. It is not a power co-equal with the infinite. The psalm teaches this without arguing philosophy. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Fear is the permit we hand evil to act through us. Withdraw the permit. Act in wisdom, yes. Set boundaries, yes. Report wrongs, yes. But keep your inner permit office closed to dread. Courage is not recklessness, it is clarity with a steady pulse. If your past has teeth, if shame gnaws, if regret returns, prepare a table in its presence. Pour a cup named lesson. Eat the bread called begin again. Anoint your thought with this oil. Nothing real can be lost, and nothing unreal need be kept. Murphy often sang harmonies with truths like this. Then do one merciful act for someone else. Mercy multiplied toward another becomes mercy returned to the self, pressed down and running over. Old pain cannot live on a diet of praise. And if you are lonely, oh, if you are lonely, let me speak to you as a friend. The shepherd loves the single sheep. He leaves the multitude to lift the one. Feel the hand. Hear the footfall beside yours. Say aloud, if you can, I am walked with. Then go to where life is. Help someone carry groceries. Send the text you've delayed. Make the cup of tea and drink it in a beam of sunlight. The house loves sunlight. Your nervous system needs proof that goodness still visits. Be the proof for yourself. Let's return once more to gratitude, the simplest oil. The subconscious understands tone. Gratitude is the tone of already. When you say thank you before the harvest, you tune your field to a signal the infinite has broadcast since forever. All is well in essence. From essence, form follows. Choose one area today, money, health, creative work, and write a thank you paragraph as if the prayer is already answered. Murphy would not call this pretending. He would call it assumption, the entry ticket to fulfillment. Read it at noon, read it at night, then let it go like a boat on still water and trust the current. By now, certain lines of the psalm will glow for you more than others. That is not random, that is assignment. The line that glows is the line your life most needs. Make it your rod for a season. When it has done its work, when the hoof is mended, when the thorn is out, you may find a new line flickers. Follow the light. The shepherd always carries a lamp, and should you falter, and you will, kindly remember Murphy's laughter. He taught with gravity and mirth. He knew that a mind obsessed with self-correction becomes its own enemy. So when you slip into fear, do not rehearse failure. Smile, touch the hand on your back, and say, "We're walking." Then walk. The valley was never your address. If you knew the feast that's already cooked for you, you'd set the table now. Shall we? We arrive where all true journeys end, home. The psalm began with a claim, "The Lord is my shepherd," and ends with a residence, "I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." Claim, residence. This is the ark. You claimed guidance, now you live in it. Not weekends, not when the crisis spikes, all your days. And what are your days? They are sheep too. Each morning a lamb born at the gate, asking where to graze. Lead it well and it will grow strong. Neglect it and it will wander into brambles of distraction. Today, this very one, you can feel the hand, scan the field, and choose green. Murphy's philosophy fits in a single vow. I will treat my thought as sacred ground. Sacred means tended. Sacred means no litter of gossip, no tracks of doom scrolling, no bonfires of self-hate. Sacred means if a storm passes, you do not curse the sky. You anchor the tent and sing until the wind grows tired. Sacred means the ordinary is ablaze. The sink full of dishes is a basin for baptism. The commute is a pilgrimage. The email is a chance to anoint a stranger with clarity. Sacred means you stop postponing peace. You claim it and then remain in it. Because the house, this awareness, is already holy. Now receive the promised revelation fulfilled. The psalm is not a prayer asking for what you lack. It is a portrait of who you are when you remember. You are shepherded. You are supplied. You are restored. You are guided. You are fearless in shadows. You are honored at tables. You are anointed with gladness. You are overflowing good. You are followed by goodness and mercy. You are at home, in God, as God is in you. Say it softly, then loudly, then softly again. This is my nature remembered. If you are ready to seal this, stand if you can, and place your palm between your shoulders, the hand on your back. Breathe. Whisper, lead me. Then, Turn your head slightly as if you're listening to a friend, because you are. The guidance that raised galaxies can raise your courage. The wisdom that writes orbits can arrange interviews. The love that spins maple seeds can heal a heart that forgot its own seasons. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too much. You are exactly on time, and the table is warm. Walk into your kitchen after this and pour water with reverence. Still waters can flow from a tap. Sit at your literal table and name one enemy you will feed with gratitude until it cannot eat lies anymore. Put a drop of oil, real oil, on your finger and touch your forehead, not as ritual, but as reminder. I am anointed to think truth today. And as you lay down tonight, say, I dwell in the house. Fall asleep inside those walls. Angels are the architecture. Before we leave each other, let me bless you with Murphy's Spirit. May your mind be a green pasture for noble ideas. May your breath be a still water reflecting answers. May your courage be a rod that steadies earth. May your attention be a staff that gathers strays. May your table be crowded with the hungry, and none of them be fears. May your head shine with the oil of gratitude. May your cup embarrass scarcity by how it runs. May goodness and mercy become your shadow. And may you never again look for home, because you remember, you are home. If this journey carried you, join our circle as a channel member for early access to the next films and guided practices. We're building a house together, room by room, and your presence matters. But regardless, take the hand, take the rod, take the song in your chest, and go. The valley will not keep you. The feast will not wait forever. Life is asking for your yes. Now step forward. The shepherd moves when you do.